Hey there, Banfox here. I've been inactive for a long time actually, and I'm not playing the current format nor planning to join Worlds for some time, but I've decided to join a draft league. The last one I did was about a year ago, which I managed to win with an E-Trans Nischa Zumarali team, and I decided to give it another go basically. And I was second to last pick. This draft was based on tiers, so like 2 S tiers, 3 A tiers, 2 B tiers, 2 C tiers, and 1 D tier. And I was second to last, so I managed to pick up well, in my opinion. I had some draft ideas. Eventually, though, Goldengo was one of the only one I considered that was left by my draft time. I wanted to go Ursaluna, but of course it was picked already. So as my first pick I got Goldengo, and as my second one I got Roaring Moon. I was trying to idealize a draft with support Roaring, similar to one Void used a long time ago with Arcanine Izui, which I expected to be picked before it could be my time again. And it actually happened, but I had some backup options in mind. I opted for Tundrostarian and eventually Ninetales Alola because most people picked already 2 S tiers, so I didn't mind leaving mine for later. And Roaring is actually a pick I was adamant to pick because I think it was very undervalued as an A tier. I think it's an amazing mon in the Regulation F, which is the current format, and especially in draft it's even better because I can decide whether I want to go support or offensive or setup. Anyway, based on the old boy team he used in a regional or something, I decided to go Tundros because I think it's a solid pick, especially in draft. I can make use of the ability very well. And I decided to pick Ninetales to have both a fairy and a nice type, offensive and defensive ability with the Veil. Then I went to the lower tiers. I opted for Blastoise as basically a bulky water type that it's not amazing as a general mon, but it's amazing in draft in my opinion because it has so many potential set. It can be physical now that it has Wave Crash and Aqua Jet. It can be special, it can be Iron Defense Body Press, it can be Fake Out Yawn, like it even has Life Dew. It has so many potential moves. And the only annoying thing is the low attacking stat basically, like the low offensive stats, but it's an amazing mon. And my backup for Arcanine Izui was Cleaver plus Taros Blaze, where Cleaver can be the offensive rock type under a Tailwind that clicks Rock Slide with like a Choice Band if I want, or even a Life Orb, because usually competitively it's used with Sharpness plus Stone Axe and X-Scissor, which are both boosted. But I think in draft I can also make better use of Sheer Force potentially, which boosts Stone Axe, doesn't boost X-Scissor, but it does boost Lunge. It's a lower multiplier than Sharpness, but it also boosts Rock Slide. So if I don't care about the flinching chance and I want extra spread damage, I can go for that and Life Orb and not bother about a Recoil, which is a set I want to use during this draft season. And Tauros can be supportive, can be offensive. Mamoswine was a pick I was surprised to see as a C tier as well. So I really aimed at good low tier picks. So I just wanted a ground type because I think it's good to have one in draft in general. And Mamoswine has nice coverage with the ice type, and I can also use Thick Fat. And I was one of the first to pick a D tier mon, and I picked one I thought was among the best in that tier, which is Toxicroak, giving me a second Fake Out. It has amazing coverage. It's basically Okidogi type, some worse stats overall, but like for a D tier, it's great value in my opinion. It also has lots of priority moves in Sucker Punch, Upper End. It also has Quick Guard. It also has Feint, like Bullet Punch, but like, I don't care much about that. It also has some nice abilities in Dry Skin, so another type immunity. Also has Poison Touch, which is never bad. And like also has coaching. Like it has so much for a D tier. It's amazing, and I'm so happy I managed to pick it up. And as my second S tier, I opted for Ogerpon, which gave me a good grass type basically. and also follow me. It can hold an item. Basically, both Earth Flame and Wellspring were picked. These and the Rock one were the remaining ones, but I prefer to pick a Cleaver as a Rock type because I wanted to spread Rock Slide, which Ogerpon doesn't have. And I thought Ogerpon Grass could be potentially good in draft because the fact that it can hold an item gives it more flexibility in draft, and also gives me Defiant, which is good. That said, this wasn't the draft I wanted at first. Like, it had some picks I really wanted, like Toxic Rock, Roaring Moon, Tundurus, and Goldengo. But I reevaluated my draft during the first week because I noticed that my team didn't have a great time against fire types. Like, if I look at my resistances, I have only Roaring and Blastoise and Tauros. Because, like, I can give Mammoth Tick Fat to be neutral against it, like, sure. But it's not something I was too happy about, especially because I didn't have too many super effective types against fire type Pokemons. Like, it was just Blastoise, which, again, it's a great mon, but it's not very offensive. So if I faced a defensive water fire type or a bulky one, like, it could be a problem. And the only other one that was super effective against fire types was Mamoswine, which is also weak to fire, so it wasn't ideal. And the other annoying thing is that while I always enjoy having a follow me type in draft, I didn't like the fact that it shared a fire weaknesses with Goldengo, being a type that I didn't deal very well with, as basically Ogerpon cannot Terra out of the grass type, this one. And of course I can Terra Goldengo, but like, I wasn't too happy with that. So we were allowed up to 6 traits during the draft, and I used them all already before week 1. It does not apply to week 1, it does apply to week 2. Why did I do that? There was another thing I was unhappy with the draft, and the fact it's almost all physical mons. I have basically 3 special ones: Goldengo, Roaring Moon, and no, sorry, not Roaring Moon, Goldengo, Tundurus, are the only one with a good special attack. And then I have Ninetales and Blastoise that have a very low special attacking stat, so I wasn't too happy with that. It was mostly a physical draft, so I decided to reconsider some things. And luckily for me, a player who had Sinistcha decided to drop it. So I actually reevaluated my entire draft and used all my 6 replacements for the whole season already, because I wanted to change the draft. And I know I spoke a lot already, but I'm going to show you basically the changed draft. I swapped Goldengo for Heatran, which gave me a great answer to fire type. Of course, it's less versatile than Goldengo in what sets it can run, but it has great synergy with Sinistcha, and also Azumarill, which I picked over Blastoise. And as I said, I have won last year in, I thought it was also Regulation F maybe, or H, I don't remember actually, but I did win a draft league with Sinistcha, Azumarill and Heatran as my base core. So I'm very happy I can play those again. And in that draft, we had a Terra Captain, which was Azumarill for me, and instead here we can draft anybody, so it's even better. And as I had Sinistcha as a new grass type, I decided to switch out Ogerpon Grass for Landorus Therian, which surprisingly wasn't taken. Yeah, so I kept Roaring and Tundurus, and then I went to replace Blastoise for Azumarill, because not having Ninetales anymore, I also wanted a fire type, and I think Azumarill, Sinistcha, Heatran have great synergy. Then, as I already had a ground type in Landorus Therian, I decided to replace the Mamoswine for a Northworm, because it allows me to do some great synergy with Earthquake Spam that both Landorus and Roaring have, and basically use a Shed Tail, which is a nice move. And I replaced Tauros, as I already added a new fire type anyway, for Gothitelle. And this new version of the team is still physical, like it has Landorus, Roaring, Azumarill, Toxicroak, Cleaver, Earthworm, but it's a bit more special because Sinistcha has a way higher special attack than like Ninetales. Gothitelle, of course, it doesn't have a great special attacking stat, but it's a respectable one and also as competitive if I want. And the Landorus, while physical, also has a nice special attacking stat that I can use. And yeah, that's my draft. I've already played week 1, which was with the previous draft. And let me see if I can show you. Basically, this was the matchup. I would have liked to record it live, but I didn't do it in time, so I'll just show you the replays. I tested a bit with Ali because I was a bit scared because of Dragapult, Markro, GU outspeeding most of my team and threatening a lot of damage. And this is what I came up with. Basically, I had a Roaring Moon, which was key for the team and allowed me to have a Tailwind and a Pokemon faster than Dragapult. And I opted to go without Protect in favor of Taunt to help against Amoonguss. I had a Tundurus basically with Assault Vest, it could live against Chiyu very well and threaten Primarina and deal some good damage overall. A key member was Mamoswine in my testing because with Choice Scarf it could outspeed Dragapult. And also Toxicroak was great in my testing. I'll show you the replays. It went actually way better than expected. Yeah, from next time I'll try and make a live recording. Anyway, what I expected during my testing was this 6, but I thought B Sharp over Mienshao was more likely. Anyway, I did my testing lead, which worked great for me, and I decided to go knock off immediately over Tailwind in case they went for Fake Out over here, to potentially remove a Choice Band in case they went for Terra or anything. I was surprised to see they were actually Focus Sash with Dragon Dance, but that's completely fine by me. And they opted for Wide Guard, which I considered, and I just clicked Tailwind. I knew I'd leave Dragon Dart as +1 as I do leave the Choice Band version. And now I'm in a great position. I know that the Mienshao is not Sash, so it dies to Acrobatics, and Markroad simply dies to Thunderbolt. And yeah, it went very smoothly. Primarina surprisingly tanked the double up, but yeah, as Ice Beam doesn't KO the Roaring Moon, so game 1 went extremely smooth. 4-0 didn't even reveal the other 2 Pokemons. And yeah, game 2 they decided to bring Chiyu. I suppose they felt like they had a terrible matchup at some point, like they didn't have great answer into this lead, and they just hoped I'd click Terra Flying instantly for some damage, but like in front of Chiyu I had no need, unless like I expected Terra Blast Fairy, but that was not at all what I was expecting anyway. So I just clicked Tailwind Thunderbolt. I just wanted to remove Markro as soon as possible so I don't risk any quash or surprising move. And yeah, once again, like as they Terra'd already, I don't risk anything and I'm in a great position. I was surprised to see Assault Vest on Chiyu this turn, and I did not expect a Snarl. I also did not click Terra on Roaring Moon because I know like Thunderbolt Tundurus would have KO'd Primarina with Chiyu on the field. So, I mean, it would have not with a Snarl probably, but like I didn't expect that anyway. So, and yeah, again, went smoothly. Here I managed to use my Taunt, which was there exactly just for Amoonguss, and yeah, like again 4-0, so I couldn't have asked for a better week 1. So I'm very happy with that. Like I had planned more against B Sharp, like I didn't bring Intimidate, wasn't really needed. I also had Upper Hand and some attacks against it. So happy with how that went. And yeah, like now the draft changed. So as I was saying, I have this new team with Etran. My consideration in changing Goldengo, even though it was a great Pokemon, was also because of other people's drafts. It didn't feel as great with my various fire weaknesses, as there were a couple of some teams that could be threatening, like this one and this one. It didn't feel potentially as effective as I wanted against other teams as well. Like this week one, I didn't bring Goldingo because of Chiyu, because of Bishop and faster Dragapult. Like, of course, I could have clicked Terra on it, but I was more likely clicking Terra on Roigamon as I did. Anyway, week one went extremely smoothly, so next week I'll be facing actually a Sun team, and I'll be able to use my new draft. So see you next week.